morning, ladies and gentlemen, parents and students. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm honored to be here. I will be talking to you about embracing diversity and inclusion. So let's get started with this topic. What is diversity? Diversity can come in many forms. They can come out of your appearance. For example, your color of skins, your genders, and your heights. They also come from your inside. For example, your interests, your nationalities, and religious belief. So that is diversity. And I can also give you an example for this. Right in our school, WASS, teacher and student both came from multiple countries. And we all have different color of skins, height, and weight. And a direct example is Mr. Gustavo is a Spain, and Miss Yu is a Vietnamese, and others over here is almost all of you is a Vietnamese. So that is all diversity. And if we all accept the fact that diversity is our human being, what pros and cons does this bring to our life? First, I will come up with the advantage. It will be extremely boring if we are all the same from skills to interests. How can we be able to learn from each other for human growth? That's where diversity comes into view. So, right in our WASS, if we just study one subject for a whole day, whole week, whole semester, whole month, or even a whole school year, it can be extremely boring. So that's why our school WASS has providing us interesting subjects and appropriate programs for us to develop on all sides. Let's also develop our open-mindedness. That is just one of the benefits. But diversity also makes people easier to identify one another. I still remember when my mom told me about a twin that she knew during her childhood. They look exactly the same, nothing different. But it is really easy to identify who was who, because one of them has a really warm heart, but the other is really greedy and evil and usually don't play with others. So that is the advantage that diversity brings to our human being, our human growth. But does it have any negative impact? Yes, it does. Nowadays, people usually keep a very far distance from the people that they are thinking of. Oh, this girl looks so different from me. I must get away from her. Get away. What does this call it? This is called discrimination. In a report found in 2019, there are about 45 million people got treated a body dissatisfaction because of their ugly and unique of their physical appearance. So that is the two sides of diversity. But how can we expand the pros and we reduce the cons? That is where inclusion came to us. What is inclusion? Inclusion refers to the procedure organization that help people to adapt into the society in a beneficial way. The goal of inclusion helps people to adapt and feel like they are inclusive into the town and their new houses. And now, I will explain the reason why that I put two images of the garden here. Which one would you prefer? I will give you a choice. Would you prefer a green-only one or a colorful one? Okay, so I will ask you, if our society is the green one, would we being able to learn from each other for human growth if we are all the same? Okay, so another example. If your school gives you just a box of crayon, one color, would you be able to draw a picture? Probably not. It's just a blue paper if you color it. So that's why I put a colorful flower here. Now imagine, we are one colorful flower. And we have our own unique color. We have our own unique types. And if we combine together, we will create a very beautiful garden, similarly to our beautiful world. That is inclusion. But our main problem today is how can we embrace it with diversity? Because nowadays, people usually keep a very far distance from the people that they are thinking of. They are very different from them. And he mustn't making friends with him. So now, I have to quote the words from the person that I mostly admire of. is Mr. Nelson Mandela. He said, "No one was born hating others. If they learn to hate, they must taught to love. Love comes easier than its opposites." How can Mr. Nelson Mandela has strived his whole life for the colored people? Because he loves peace. So that's why I also learned from Mr. Claudine Champion, culture transformation leader. He said, if we could love one another, we could learn to listening, open-mindedness, with vulnerability and empathy. What does these forward if it concerns to our topic today? Well, listen doesn't mean that you need to agree what is being said, but all you need is your feeling hearing what is being said. Open-mindedly helps you to swim deep into the topic, what is being said. Vulnerabilities helps you to ask questions and gain your understanding and clarity. And empathy helps you to put ourselves in someone's shoes and compassion rather than right or win. Love, love, and love. Trust me, love is the most durable magic in the world, and it's the key to successful of embracing diversity and inclusion at all times. Nowadays, as you can see, overseas learning has been extremely popular. As you can see, the United States has the most overseas learning in every single year, and Canada has almost increased double the amount of overseas learning in just one single year. So with these millions of students, how can we create a new, diverse, friendly school environment? There are some suggestions for the students. They must learn the local languages. Local languages helps them to understand what the professor is trying to explain to them, the lessons, and trying to chit and chat with them. That's how they make friends. So, speaking the languages or the local languages helps them to understand the details of the professor. If they just understand a little bit or understand the body part of what the professor is trying to talking to them to make the speech more descriptive, it won't help. Because how can they do their exams? And how can they affect it to their real life? And make friends with teacher and friends. Teacher and friends are the closest people to you during your overseas learning process. So let's chit and chat with them during picnics, lunchtime, and dinner. So that is just a little part to contribute a nice, diverse school environment. But it also depends on the school, administrator, principals, and so on. The school should open cultural fair. It helps students to explore the culture, learn from each other, and develop our open-mindedness about the country and the culture from all over the globe. And it also develop our self-confidence. Students may be being proud because our country is have our own cultures. School can also develop our after-school activities. That will help to see that how breathtaking the overseas learning students' country is. That will help with the cognitive and academic skills. Thanks to our school administrator, principal has opened these meaningful things that help us to develop our open-mindedness. Remember, do these things with all your heart, and love is the key to successful of embracing diversity and inclusion at all times. That's all what I want to bring to you today. Thank you for listening.